Welcome to BioStock studio. It's been a busy time for Cereno Scientific lately. So with that in mind, today's guest is Sten R Sörensen, CEO. Welcome.
Thank you.
You had positive results from the phase 2 trial, and then you pivoted the whole company into focus to very rare and dangerous diseases. And now you secured a loan for 250 million Swedish crowns. What led you to this?
Well, you know, biotech always need capital to fund development programs. And it was time for us to secure financing so we can move the company through very important milestones during the next year, so into 2026. So that was the real reason.
Mm. Who did you enter this financing agreement with?
We continue our very good partnership with Fenja. This time we did the agreement with Fenja and their new partner in the US, Arena. Mm-hmm. So it's a US investor that, or loan giver that has $4 billion under management. So it's a very good extension of our financing and our capital needs, and we have two good partners now supporting the company with a good structure for us.
You told us a little bit about the Medicon. Could you say something about the Fenja also for them who doesn't know them?
Yeah, Fenja, we've had a loan before with Fenja. They were previously known as Nordic Formue. So we have had them as a collaborative partner together with our previous partner Mangold when we have financed the companies through several years. We started that collaboration 5 years back with Mangold, and Nordic Formue has been part of several of the financings we have done there. And then when we have took up a loan for 90 million with Fenja, who Nordic Formue changed name to Fenja. And that loan we have extended, and now we increase the whole loan capacity for the company to 250 instead of 90. So that was a good thing for us. Yeah,
obviously a lot of money. And so a question is, what will this mean for the business concretely?
Yeah, so it's very good to have a year plus to pursue your programs. And in this time, this type of structure suits Cereno very well. We feel that we have developed the company well with our 3 programs. So we are now in 2 clinical programs. So phase 2 just delivered with our lead program, CS1, in the rare disease PAH. And then we have the second program, a novel HDAC inhibitor in clinical phase. And that program will complete next year. And then we have a novel IP receptor agonist in preclinical work. So this loan capacity will now make us able to pursue regulatory discussions with regulatory authorities in the US and Europe for the phase 2B/3 program for CS1, complete our phase 1 program for CS014, and then have that program approved for the newly selected rare disease, idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, in the fall. That's the target. So both these programs can start in the early part of 2026, a phase 2B or phase 3 program for CS1 and a phase 2 program for CS014. And in addition, we can continue to pursue our preclinical work for CS585. So that's what this cash capital is going to go to. In addition, we'll be able to read out our expanded access program of compassionate use, which we have for CS1, where 1 patient was dosed a few weeks back, and where more patients are envisioned to be enrolled over the next period. So we'll have readout of that long-term clinical use in pulmonary arterial hypertension with our CS1 drug. And because we've seen so very, very interesting data in the phase 2A program, so we saw some very nice signals of efficacy, both in lowering risk, improving physical capacity, and reducing pulmonary pressure. And in a subset of high responders, we saw also a very nice reduction of pulmonary vascular resistance. So now we'll be able to see long-term, with this cash, we'll be able to continue that program over the next year.
Yeah, and I want to tell our viewers that if you're curious into going a little bit into depth, Stefan has been here very recently, and we then walked through these programs. So please watch the other videos that you can find just below this. So we talked about the business, of course, sort of putting the feet to the good news and see where that takes you. What does this loan mean for the shareholders?
I believe that this is a very good structure for the shareholders. So the companies, the people working in the company, the key management, the board, our partners are in bed with the shareholders. We are pursuing these things together. So for us and for the shareholders, this structure is very good because it is a very low dilution capital infusion in the company, so somewhere around 4%. So it's a low dilution, and also there are convertible notes that can be converted, so 75 million of this capacity is convertible notes, and they've been put to 20% up from around 20% up from the share price now. In addition, there are some warrants that are even further higher, 140% of the original share price when we signed, that could provide another close to 40 million into the company. So I think in this environment of quite costly rights issues on the market, I think this structure is very good. In addition, this structure or capitalization provides us ample time to continue our discussions with potential partners, which we just came back from BioEurope, and our calendars were really full, and we had a number of really good discussions, some initial and some that we continue there. And so that whole discussions with an exposure to pharma potential partners we will be able to continue without being stressed for capital during the full year of next year and into 26. In addition, our quest to anchor specialist investors into the company will continue. So we believe we'll have good discussions with specialist investors over the next year too.
Speaking of the future, how far will your current finances take you?
It will take us into a bit into 2026, so that's fine.
Well, good luck with everything, and thank you so much for joining us, Sten R Sörensen.
Always a pleasure.